set Trinity apart this year to, you've seen a lot of teams, what set them apart to give you the national ranking?
Well, I think the first thing we talked about with Trinity was the completeness of the team. Everybody looks at the offensive numbers, which were very impressive. They outgained their opponents by almost 4,000 yards. They limited so many teams. But what people ignore is the defense and how good the defense was. They slowed down everybody they played. They dominated on both sides of the ball. They were complete on the special teams as well. They have excellent coaching. I know a lot of programs around the country also have a lot of those same things, but I think that whole entire package puts together separated Trinity this year.
And their schedule, that was a pretty tough schedule they played. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I think the schedule was very tough, very demanding. I think as the season wore on, we saw that maybe some other teams played a just as difficult or even a more difficult schedule, but what they were able to do in those games and against that competition was what set them apart. So just the strength of schedule would not have done it if it wasn't those results. That combination was a perfect storm.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, how do you think they'd match up against Bosco in a game?
I think anytime you talk about teams in the top 25 in the country, if you put them on a field 10 times, they're going to split those results. To say that this Trinity team would beat that Bosco team, 6 out of 10 times might be generous. It might be 5. It might be a perfect split. It would depend on a lot of things. I think they match up very well. I think the defense that they played would give Don Bosco trouble. But likewise, I think the defense of Don Bosco is what kept them in the national championship discussion all year. They're one of the best defenses in the country, and they could give this Trinity team fits, and they could shut them down. I think if you gave the coaching staff on each team enough time to prepare, they would both come with great game plans. I think the completeness of Trinity is what gives them the overall advantage, and the limitations that Don Bosco showed on offense this year in a lot of games, not just 1 or 2 to point out some weaknesses, over the course of the season just made it an easier comparison to favor Trinity.
Thank you very much.
Yep.